So hello everyone, welcome to Technical Gupta YouTube channel. Today we will learn about the singleton design pattern and the evolution of this design pattern in a current scenario. Those who are not aware of the design pattern, so I will give you some brief. So design pattern are the reusable solution, okay, to the widely known design problems. Okay, so there are total 23 design pattern which comes under different category: creational, behavior and structural. So and these design pattern were given by the 4 persons. So they have write down one book which name is a Gang of 4. So in that there are 23 design pattern, and today we will learn about the singleton, and singleton comes under the creational design pattern. In the creational design pattern we will learn about how the objects are instantiated and how the objects will be created. So singleton, as you know, singleton class, okay, the meaning of singleton is that in our application we can only have a single instance of that class. Okay, so this is a concept of a singleton. So to implement the singleton, okay, what we need one, okay, private constructor. Why we need private constructor, the question is that, okay, if you use a private constructor, you can't instantiate the object from the outside the class, so it's fulfilling our requirement. The second thing is that it has a single instance across all the copies, so you need a static member. As we know, static member of a class has a single instance across all its copy, so that's why we are using a static instance. Okay, so what I did, like whenever we get a instance, okay, so in that case I put a counter over here to check like how many time instance will be created. So like so let's get started. So there is case 1. okay, in this case I will write a simple code in which we will implement the singleton design pattern. Okay, so I am running this case. See, let's go back to the program and see what I write over here. Okay, so in the main I invoke two methods. So this is a parallel.invoke library, so this will be implemented through the TPL. And why this, we are calling the two method, first invocation, second invocation. So in the first and second invocation, what I am doing, I am getting an instance of a singleton class. Okay, so if we check the result, what we found, so called instance one time, so first message, second message, then second message and first message. So instance count is 1, but we call the class 2 time. So because of this static constructor, okay, so by this we will able to identify only the one instance will be created. That's why we have a counter 1. So we have fulfilled our requirement of creating a singleton class. But see, there is problem in that, like what we are doing, we are locking. Okay, so like in multi-thread environment, if we have a 4 thread, T1, T2, T3, T4, so by using a locking mechanism, only one thread can enter in the code. So it's a very poor design. Okay, because every time you have to, other thread had to wait until the first thread will be go out of this block. So we will not use this thing. Okay, so this is a poor design. So now we will go to the second case. So in the second case, what we will do, okay, so instead of, okay, applying locking on a tuple level, okay, locking is only required until or unless instance are not created. If instance is created, then we can simply get the instance. So for the first time, if instance is not created, so we will check by this, and in that we will apply the locking. Okay, but again the problem is here, like if the two threads T1 and T2 are going to access at the same time, okay, first time, so again they will the T1 will be enter in this block, okay, again then then it will create a instance, okay, then it go outside the block, but T2 is again inside this instance, so in that case it will create a new instance. So again it's not good, because we have the concept of a this singleton class is that you have to create a single instance. So again in multi-thread environment it will not work, but performance wise it is better. So again, to fix this issue we will use a double check locking mechanism, okay. So in this code what I am doing, first we are checking the instance is not null, okay, instance is a null, then we will going to lock the object, okay. So again in multi-thread environment, okay, so it will check first instance, if instance first in the first thread, if instance is not created, we will create the instance and go outside the block. So in the second time, okay, the same thread, okay, so another thread T2 that already outside this lock will enter if it check instance is already created, so this instance will not be created. So it is this code is the thread safe also, okay. So this code is also fulfilling are the concept of a multi-threading environment, but see you have to implement lot of code, okay, to get this multi-thread environment case. But I will tell you a simple scenario, by this we can implement the multi-thread case. So in the case 4 what we will use lazy instantiation, okay. So in the lazy instantiation what we are going to do, so in the .NET, okay, in the C# we have a lazy, okay, so this support the lazy initialization. The concept of lazy initialization is something like that, unless or until you don't require the instance, the instance will not be created, okay. So there is two concept, okay, early loading and lazy loading. Early loading is like that, the moment you declare at the time it loaded automatically. Lazy loading is that whenever you required at the time instance will created, okay. So this is a very good for a performance wise, and it's also thread safe, okay. So see, I have only written this code, I have created a lazy instantiation of a object, and this by this public get method I am getting this value, so I don't need to write the long code, okay. So I need to hide this, just wait. Okay, now I will test this. So I will test the case number 4, okay. So again see, the instance is only called the one time because we have define a counter. So in a program I am calling the instance 2 times, okay, but it will be created 1 time. So by using a lazy initialization our code become very good in the term of performance, okay, and it's also thread safe. Hope you have understood correctly. If you still have any doubt, you can ask me in a comment section, so I will provide the detail of this project in the chat, okay, that you can refer and proceed. So thank you for listening me. If you haven't subscribed my channel, kindly do it. So okay.